plot holes in the Infinity War storyline. Before I get started, I just need to say that the making and authorized distribution of this YouTube film supported over 15,000 jobs and involved hundreds of thousands of work hours. So please, don't watch this illegally. Be authorized. Now that we got that out of the way, this isn't exactly all plot holes, just some observations about the thing. But the term plot holes kind of implicitly suggests not obvious observations. One thing I noticed was in regards to the soundtrack. I heard one part and I just thought, where have I heard this before?
Get out of here! Go!
And I'm like, okay, Predator, right? Da 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 da. Bom 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 bom. So I looked it up, and yeah, it is the same composer, Alan Silvestri. He's one of the three biggest composers in Hollywood, I think. Him, Hans Zimmer, and Danny Elfman. And it's good to see that even the illustrious Alan Silvestri falls victim to repeating the same ideas. Because I've composed things before, and it's difficult to... You have to try really hard to not repeat your same ideas over and over again. And by and large, Alan Silvestri does a great job of that, but he just did the Predator right there. The other thing, and this isn't a plot hole either, I guess, occurs in Endgame when Black Widow and Hawkeye and Nebula and War Machine land on that planet before they split up to get the Soul Stone and the Power Stone. Scarlet Widow says to Hawkeye, "Hurry up, we're on the clock." And I think, wait a minute, you've already established that when you go back in time, you've got as much time in the world, because when you finally return to the present, it'll be like no time went past. So when you say we're on the clock, that's absolutely inappropriate. You are not on the clock. You can take as much time as you want. So that's the kind of screw up that you can't write your way out of. You can't explain it away. And it reminds me of a similar screw up in the first Superman movie, where you got Marlon Brando talking. You'd think you'd write something really good for him, but he says, and this is one of my favorite movies, so I'm just nitpicking. But he goes, "This planet will be obliterated. This planet will explode within 30 days, if not sooner." It's like, well, within 30 days means if not sooner. To mention a third example of this, I just saw that Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron, and at the end of the movie it says, before he died, Ted Bundy confessed to committing more than 30 murders. And then it goes, but experts think it was much higher. The number is much higher. It's like, you just said more than 30 murders. In the Superman and the Ted Bundy examples, I understand why they did it. They did it for dramatic effect. But even then, it could be done without being an error. This planet will explode within 30 days, if not sooner. I don't know, you could say a million things. This planet will explode in 30 days at the very most. I don't know, there's a lot of things you could say. Spend some time on it. Black Widow saying, we're on the clock. Okay, that was for momentum, so again, for dramatic purposes. But there's a million other things she could have said. She could have just said, get a move on. Or hurry up before I lose my nerve. Before we lose our nerve or something. Infinity War and Endgame were pretty perfect. It's just still amazing to me, though, that with all those millions of dollars, nobody could catch these little things. You'd think that it would be completely flawless. I don't know why I would think that. I mean, after The Last Jedi, where there was nothing that made sense at all. The Last Jedi, where you can't listen to one line of dialogue without pointing out an error. Well, that's all I got for you today. If you support gays, click like. If you respect blacks, comment. If you think women are people too, click the notification bell. And if you care about sick children, subscribe.